Hello everyone and welcome to the Chippewa Valley School Horse Challenge Semifinal Update and Championship Preview. Today we will report about all of the twists and turns in the semifinal round, and we will also break down the championship matchup with a special guest providing expert analysis. Now for the first semifinal matchup, the battle of the second team Berkshire League All-Stars, senior Jaden Cornwall against junior Michael Parachi.
Alright, my turn?
You're up. Yep.
Alright. Just a one-legged free throw. It doesn't matter which leg. Just one leg in the air.
To start, Jaden with the one-legged shot. Nothing but net. Michael now has a chance to match. A lot of backboard in there. It goes in and it counts.
Behind the backboard.
Michael now gets an opportunity. Bounces one in behind the backboard. Off the top. Jaden now has a chance to match. No good. We have our first letter of the game. Jaden earns an H. Michael now with the opportunity to make a three. Doesn't call glass.
That's stupid. You didn't do backboard.
It goes in.
Did he call banks?
You didn't call bank, so you don't have to make it.
Alright.
Jaden with the opportunity to match does not need to use the backboard. No good. Down early. Jaden goes on a hot streak.
Like 12 feet out.
It's a 12-foot bank shot.
Right wing three.
Now he calls swish on a three.
Did you hear that?
Yep.
I can hear the switch.
Nothing but net, and just like that, the game is tied. Jaden takes the lead on a three throw. And then Michael gets another chance. Calls bank on a runner.
Alright, so just, like, how
Jaden
close
has
the
to
free throw line
match.
is he? Alright.
And Jaden matches it.
Mid-range, like right side, baseline, jump, mid-range.
Jaden with a baseline mid-range shot. It's good.
Like 2.5, I'm like a couple feet behind the three-point line, straight on.
A deep three.
Oh, cool.
And
Good
it's
job,
over.
Mike. I was worried you were going to get around the rim, and I was not going to make some of those. Good game.
Jaden moves on to the championship round. Now to see, who will his opponent be? For that, we go to New Milford. Matt Sheedy versus Mr. Croft. And as you can see, Matt starts out hot. Over the backboard and in. Now, if we're going to be fair, there is no video available of Mr. Croft, and we do know that he hit granny shot after granny shot after granny shot, utilizing his patented old man game. However, in the end, bolstered by the support of his #1 fan, Nova the Wonder Dog, Matt takes home the victory and moves on to the championship round, where he will face Jaden Cornwall. So there you have it, our championship matchup. Senior Jaden Cornwall of Roxbury, Connecticut versus junior Matt Sheedy of New Milford, Connecticut. And now, for a preview of the championship matchup, we go to Roxbury, Connecticut for an interview with none other than Jaden Cornwall. We're here live with semifinal winner Jaden Cornwall. And Jaden, we'd like to thank you for joining us here today. And we have just a couple of questions for you. First of all, you had a tough semifinal matchup with Michael Parachi. What is it you think was the biggest factor in your victory today?
I think for me, the biggest factor was my home court advantage. I know everyone has home court advantage here, but I know my hoop and my driveway very well and where I'm most confident from. So I took each shot with my best ability and used the conditions I had to my advantage.
Speaking of the conditions, you mentioned this in your semifinal preview. It was really windy outside during the semifinal matchup. You knew that going into it. Did that factor into your strategy at all?
Honestly, I thought it was going to factor in more than it ended up factoring in because I did take a couple, I don't know, mid to long range shots and they ended up going in. But in the beginning, I was sort of closer to the rim. I didn't want to get too close because I know Michael's very good, really close. So I was sort of, I don't know, in the mid range area. So it did factor in. So hopefully it's not too windy in the finals.
Right. So speaking of the finals, moving on, your opponent in the championship round is Chappaq Junior Matt Sheedy. You've played with him on the Chappaq basketball team for the past 3 years. What would you say his biggest strengths are?
I'm sure everyone knows this. The Sheedy special is something to look out for. So I don't know if I'll be taking any floaters, but I definitely will practice them because I expect to see a bunch of those mid-range floaters with throws it up with one hand. I'm sure he'll have a couple of those. And I don't know. Besides that, he probably has something else in his bag of tricks, but we'll see.
Well, as you are probably well aware now, the Chappaq Valley Horse Challenge has just become a worldwide phenomenon. And all the participants have become instant international celebrities. How have you handled all of the newfound fame and attention you've been receiving?
I think I'm taking it one shot at a time and one game at a time. It helped when I played the last game. I didn't really know what to expect after it, so I just thought of what to expect during the game, taking it one game at a time and sort of focusing on each shot one at a time because that's the best I can do. It's the only thing I can control is what I'm doing. So if I figure if I control what I can, I'll just that's the best. I'll give myself the best shot at winning if I do that.
Jaden, first of all, we want to congratulate you on your semifinal victory. We want to thank you for joining us here today. We want to wish you the best of luck in the championship round.
Awesome. Thank you for having me and putting this all together. This is really fun.
Thank you. And now, to hear from our other championship round participant, we go to New Milford to speak with finalist Matt Sheedy. We're here in the Chappaq Valley Horse Challenge studios, live with semifinal winner Matt Sheedy. Matt, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Matt, you had a very talented opponent in your semifinal victory. When you heard Mr. Croft talk about his plan to bury you with granny shots, did that impact your pregame practice routine at all?
In fact, it did. I was kind of scared. Him using the old man approach. The past two days during lunch, I just went outside and just practiced the granny shot over and over and over again.
That's great. Now, we heard you talk about the Sheedy special, and I, a couple of minutes ago, did an interview with your championship round opponent, Jaden Cornwall, and he mentioned the Sheedy special. Now, explain to us what the Sheedy special is. Tell us, did you use it in your game with Mr. Croft? And if so, was it effective?
Okay, so the Sheedy special is a floater, running or whatever, that I can hit from any spot in the court. In fact, your son does not like it during practice because instead of just going up and getting blocked by him, I'll just put up the floater that he can't block. So during this game, the nerves were there, so I couldn't. It wasn't really working for me. During this game, I stuck to my behind the basket shots, my deep threes, and my jump hook.
Well, that must have worked out for you because you're sitting here in the victor circle, talking about preparations for the championship round. And now that we mentioned the championship round, your opponent, as we previously mentioned, is Jaden Cornwall. Since he's been a teammate of yours for the past 3 years, what concerns do you have about playing him in the championship round?
I love Jaden. He's been a great teammate these past 3 years. Couldn't ask for a better captain. The thing that concerns me is his he can hit a jump shot from pretty much anywhere on the court. So I'm I'm a pretty good shooter, but I don't think I'm at the level that he is. Um, to For me to be successful in this game, the Sheedy special has to be working.
Well, as you know, the Chippewa Valley School Horse Challenge has been ranked the #1 YouTube broadcast originating from the Region 12 community in the month of April 2020. To all of your fans that are watching right now from all across the globe, what advice would you give to a youngster looking to excel in the game of virtual horse? What has your practice routine been? And what sacrifices have you had to make to end up in the championship round?
Um, so first, I'd like to say thank you to all the fans out there. Uh, we we all greatly appreciate the support they've all given. Second, I think I'd like to see a primary school version of this after this round is done. Um, so some advice I would give to a youngster would be just find whatever off like unconventional shot that you can make and just perfect it. And once you something like that, you'll be set. Um, like I said, the past couple of days during lunch, I've just been shooting. I didn't really. I was very confident going into the first round, so I just winged it. Um, this round, Mr. Croft had me scared because I heard of his great comeback against um, I practiced a grenade shot for hours past couple of days, and I think some deep jump shots.
Well, Matt, obviously what you've been doing has worked so far. We want to congratulate you for making it to the championship round. We want to thank you for joining us here, and we want to wish you the best of luck in the championship.
Thank you. Nova Nation.
And now for a preview of our championship round matchup. We go via satellite to our Upper Grassy Hill studios for expert analysis with all-around basketball guru, Mr. John Spear.
Welcome everyone to a special edition analysis of the Chippewa Valley School Horse Championship matchup between Jaden Cornwall and Matt Sheedy. Let's take a look at the strengths and weaknesses of both of these competitors. Let's start with the top of the bracket and Jaden Cornwall. Jaden has been a prolific shooter since his days on the middle school team and many practices in WPS. Some people may compare him to the Steph Curry of the Berkshire League. His long-range shooting is really unmatched among participants in this tournament. And then we have Matt Sheedy on the bottom side of the bracket, advancing through Crafty Croft, who was the Vegas betting favorite and a fan favorite going into this tournament. Matt's really a mid-range specialist, and like any Villanova fan, he's gritty, he's gutty, and he's going to find a way to advance. I just got off the phone with Jay Wright, and Jay was saying how proud he was that Matt was a Wildcat fan and was finding a way into this championship matchup. So the breakdown really looks like Jaden, deep threes versus Matt and what's called the Sheedy special, which I'm not sure if it's overrated or underrated or rated just about right. So I think the breakdown is really based on the weather. If the wind subsides and Jaden can hit a couple of deep threes early, I think the pressure will build on Matt. You heard Matt in his interview talk about the pressure in the semifinals. And I feel like that extra year of experience that Jaden has will lead him to the victory. And the last shot will be a Cornwall special, the corner three swish we've seen so many times in the Ted Alex Gymnasium. Matt's a great competitor. I just think he's a year away from winning this championship. A little more experience next year, and he's going to be an early favorite to take the 2021 title.
You heard it here first. Special thanks to Mr. John Spear for his expert analysis. Will the championship go to Jaden Cornwall, or will it go to Matt Sheedy? Tune in here and find out.